Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Steelbook Obsessed. My name is Jake. Here is my collection that is in my basement, part of my collection. But as I am slowly backing up, we have the stack of Doom right here. It is big, it is thick, it is double wide. Boy howdy, yes, we are going to be putting away a lot of movies today. I'm going to lay them out on the table over here just so we have a better representation of what exactly we're dealing with here. I'm going to be putting away a lot of movies. If you like these type of videos to where you can just kind of turn your brain off, put this in on the background, watch me organize some stuff in my collection, make sure you give this video a like, make sure you give the channel a subscription. But let's start organizing this mess now, eh? All right, you ready for this? Because dear God, I could play peekaboo and you would not be able to see me for a while. Look at this stack. Look at the amount of movies that I have to put away. It is absolute insanity. Getting a close-up of some of the movies you will see while I put everything away. Not sure if I'm going to put every single one of these away or not. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. There's also a few slipcovers over here to some Tarantino movies that I still have to put away, but as of right now, I have them up on my Tarantino wall, so those are gonna stay as is, and I think that's fine because I have so many to put away. Some weirdly shaped ones up here too, like they're kind of flopping off the sides. Good thing I already have like a set collection for Turbine, and I also do right here for my Vinegar Syndrome. So they look nice on the shelf. But now I'm going to make this into a lot of smaller stacks of boutique labels. That way it just helps me put movies away the quickest way that I possibly can. Let's start doing that now. All right, so after all of the reorganization on the table is done, I've got them separated into stacks. I have 2 stacks of Steelbooks, Arrow Video, we got a Shudder, we got a bunch of just non-boutique releases, a lot of those. And then as you can see, there's a smattering of other ones with big stacks on Kino Lorber and Umbrella Entertainment. This should be a little bit easier, so let's take the Arrow Video stack, shall we, and start putting some of these away. So here is the Umbrella Entertainment section, and panning down, we have the Arrow Video section down here. Here are the stack of movies that I have to start putting away. So let's waste no more time and start with Incubus, a movie that I have not watched yet. William Shatner in the 60s, I believe, 60s or 70s. Yeah, very, very satanic stuff here. Incubus is going to go with the slipcovers right there, right before the invasion. Incubus is going to slide right in, right next to Hugo and the aforesaid invasion. But now let's go to a movie that I have reviewed on the channel already, The Cell, one of my favorite physical media releases of the year so far. This sucker is going right in between these 2 movies. We have The Addiction, Abel Ferrara right there, and Deadly Games, a movie that I still need to check out as well. Next up, we have Alice Sweet Alice on Glorious 4K. Again, another movie that I have done a review for on the channel. A very much hidden gem of a movie. I had the Blu-ray. I got rid of the Blu-ray already because I have the 4K now. And right now, Alice, actually, this is going right next to The Cell and The Addiction, so don't need to do a lot of moving there either. Next up, we have Cruising, Al Pacino. I talked about this on my latest new release roundup. This movie is wild. I love the cracked leather look. There we go. There's a good shot of it right there. It is nice. I don't really like a lot of the artwork on this. The movie is so fascinating. If you have not seen it, I don't even know if I recommend it. If you're in for a very unique time, I would. Actually, these go with the big box sets. Cruising is going to go over here. I think I have to move Hellraiser Torment set over here, and Cruising is going to go next to Dario Argento's The Cat of Nine Tails and Deep Red. And I think out of all of these movies, I'm going to have Demolition Man kind of showcased off right there. Make it look full, even though it's not full. I've got 2 more just slim movies to go in the Arrow Video set. We have a double feature of sorts, A Certain Killer and A Killer's Key. Haven't seen either of these either, but A and A, I put the A's at the very beginning, just like I do here. A Fish Called Wanda is gonna go right in between 12 Monkeys. Love this movie so much. Love the making of documentary on this release so much. And A Fish Called Wanda, also love this movie. Would not be mad if Arrow Video wanted to put out a 4K for A Fish Called Wanda. But last but not least, we have Play It Cool. As you can see, this movie is still sealed, so I have not watched this movie yet either. P is gonna go right here, actually. Right in between My Stepmother is an Alien and Rampo Noir. But as you can see, I put, what, 6, 7 titles away there? Still have a lot of room in my Arrow Video set, and I can't say the same for Criterion. I think I have one Criterion movie to put away. I need to figure out a better solution for this. I just need more shelves. There's room for shelves over here, but I just need to get rid of some things to get more shelving like this. I know that's what I'm going to have to do. I just have to bite the bullet and finally do it. I am going to be interjecting from boutique to regular release, and here is a doozy, folks. 7. Again, I reviewed this one on the channel as well. Enjoyed it. I wanted a little bit more from it. A lot of archival stuff, not a lot of new stuff. All the same special features are on this Blu-ray here. I'm kind of curious how this release actually looks on the shelf. Is it going to stick out? These dang J cards are getting meshed together, but I need to keep it like this because the other side is blank. Put it here. It sticks out a little, but not a crazy amount. I hate how that is upside down as opposed to this. I'm probably gonna have to, you know what? I'm just gonna do it right now. Let's do it live. Let's flip it, reverse it, put that sucker in there like so. How bonkers. Okay, so now this is the same way as this, but the David Fincher is weird. I'm gonna keep it like this, even though, oh my God, what a hot mess express this 7 releases. That's, I'm keeping it like this just for the meme factor. Hopefully that doesn't bother me, but I like this. I like these have to match. I don't know. That's a weird choice you did, Warner Brothers. Staying on this shelf, here is a movie that I found last time I went to my local used movie store, Prince Avalanche. David Gordon Green has a very mixed filmography for me, but I love me some Paul Rudd. I love me some Emile Hirsch. I'm hoping for good things about this movie. We shall see. But right now, Prince Avalanche is going right next to Primal Fear and The Princess and the Frog. Princess. All right, I'm gonna put 2 movies away here, 2 steel books that start with the letter N. So I'm going all the way to the bottom shelf here. Got a little bit of wiggle room. I was able to move some things around, so I have a little bit of free space at the end. Love to see it. First one I'm putting away, North by Northwest. This steel book is an absolute stunner. Love this movie, love this steel. I already have the Blu-ray Digipack book. I'm not getting rid of that because I think it is also great packaging. So North by Northwest is going next to, look at this. Look at this artwork on the Digipack of North by Northwest. I can't part with it, sorry. The movie's too good. I will keep the double dip here, but we're going to go here, and I think about right here is where I'm going to add Robert Eggers' Nosferatu. Again, another great movie. I want to say this is my 4th favorite movie of 2024. Loved this theatrical viewing experience. Love the steelbook on this sucker as well, but Nosferatu is going right next to The Northman. Hey, that's a little coinky dink, huh? Another Robert Eggers joint. Love to see it. We got The Northman and Nosferatu, if I can put this back, with the J card being a little slippery. There we go. And The November Men, which is a movie that I have not seen yet. Now let's go to the boutique wall, people, and we are going to go all the way down to the last shelf. We've got Unearthed Films right here. I've got 2 new copies to add to that collection. Let's go in alphabetical order. And is this their first 4K they've ever put out? I believe it is, with Evil Enko. Love me some Malcolm McDowell. It talks about the Soviet Union's most notorious serial killer. Very, very intriguing. This is going to go in between the D and the F, if I can get it there. That American Pie is a thick boy. I might have to flip that sucker around. But right now, Evil Enko is going right next to Dead Girl and
full body massage, baby. And I think I'm gonna have to turn American Pie around. That hurts my soul a little bit. I love that release so much. But if we go right here, we're actually going in between the E and the F, the two, or that Evil Anko, what we just put in there, with Feed. I've heard horrific things about this movie. I know I have to be in the right mindset to watch it. When will that mindset be? I'm not sure. I'm assuming that my wife will want to give it a watch. She loves this label so much. So I am just gonna keep this here for whenever we're, in the feeding mood. Now we are going to go just one shelf up and start putting some Kino Lorbers away. I've got a lot of room on the Kino Lorber shelf, and that's because I usually have a lot of movies to put away. Here are 24 titles I've got to add to the collection. I'm going to put these a little bit alphabetical before I put them in. This is a big stack. This might take me a little bit. All right, the first titles that we're going to put away are at the very beginning here of the Kino Cult line. I've got a nice little section of Kino Cult. I've got 4 more to add today. First up is Crawl Space with Mr. Klaus Kinski. Have not seen this movie yet. I've heard good things about it, but good things about a movie called Crawl Space. I don't know how good they're going to be. It's not going to be good for you, that's for sure. But right now, Crawl Space is going right next to the classic Ghost 1970s Gothic TV movies and Empire of the Ants. Okay, yep, I kind of figured that was going to happen. We got to go all the way over just so that doesn't continuously happen. We're going to go now to the H's. So push all the way to frogs. Next one up, we got Helen Mirren in Hussy. The synopsis of this reads a lot like Anora, who just won Best Picture. So if you liked Anora, but you want to go older and have a lot more hair down there, give Hussy a shot. But continuing down the line, we have an I title. Invasion of the Bee Girls. Ordinary housewives turn into ravishing creatures. Oh my god, she's turning into a bee. Is that what this is about? Seems very 1960s, 1970s sexploitation. Nothing wrong with that at all. That one's going right next to Hussy. But now we're gonna move these two over, and I think we gotta move over these two titles, and we got a W here. First Hussy, now Whore. Ken Russell film. Don't know too much about this movie. Yeah, it looks like there are a lot of sex workers in here as well. I know that Mikey Madison fights hard for them, and Anora. I've just got Anora on the brain, people, but those are the 4 Kino Cult titles. And since all of them are over here already, and I think I'm gonna need the space, I'm just moving the other 2 Kino Cults to the very section over here, because I think I might need to move these even more, if I'm being honest with you. How crazy is that? I've got a lot to add to the collection here. Push them in there. That should be a little bit better. We don't have to push that long because I have an A title to add to the collection. April Fool's Day. Have not seen this movie. I plan on doing it this April Fool's Day. Less than a month away, people. Cannot wait to watch this sucker. See what the movie looks like in glorious 4K. But now I'm going to move these over, and I think I got to move this one over as well. Bye-bye Blown Away. You're blown away, so I can get body parts in the collection here. A 4K of body parts. Very, very cool. That's going in there next to Brick. Now we got some C's, so we got to move all the B's over, move the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari over, and Chains of Gold. And next up, and that section is all the way full. I'm hoping I've got enough room right here. We shall see. Melanie Griffith in Cherry 2000, baby. This should be in the Kino Cult line, I would think. I'm not quite sure why it's not, but it's in the Kino Lorber collection nonetheless. Now we are going to move over the Claim and put in between that movie and Cowboys and Aliens, John Wayne in The Conqueror, where John Wayne plays Genghis Khan. What a weird combination Howard Hughes is presenting this movie. Very, very bizarre, but it's in the collection nonetheless. That's it for the C's. Move the C's over. Death Machine, move 1 over, because I found this at my local half-price books. We have Death Wish in glorious 4K, baby. Have not seen this movie. Very curious to see what it's all about. Wanted to have it in the collection. Glad I found that one in the wild. But now we're going to move the F's over and add our first G title into the Kino Lorber section with Graveyard Shift. I am such a sucker for an anthology horror film, and I want to say that's the subgenre that this movie falls under. Very excited to check that one out. Let's go over here. We got H. Let's just move Harrison Flowers over and put in Hot Pursuit. I've already seen this movie. It's okay, but definitely will be remembered in my brain for all of the guests, like the side characters. We got Ben Stiller, we got Jerry Stiller, we got a couple more that aren't coming to my head. Keith David, that's the other one that I was thinking of. Hot Pursuit's in there. And now we got to move a whole bunch over. HIJKL, and we got a couple more M's. There, stay. Thank you very much. We have to move the Martian Chronicles over, and now we get to add in Miracle Mile. World War III is about to happen, or at least that's what you're told. Who would you call first? What would you do? Find out in this film. And right next to Miracle Mile, we are going to have Mr. Monk's Last Case, a Monk movie. Have seen a couple episodes of Monk, have not seen the entire thing though, but you know, this is a movie. I will watch a movie of Monk before I will watch episodes of Monk. Does that call me crazy? It might. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments if I'm crazy or not. M's are done. Moving some N's over. Actually, all the N's are getting moved over here. And we have Noble House to add to the collection. Pierce Brosnan, before he was Bond, played a Bond-type role in the 1980s in a TV miniseries of sorts. 376 minutes. Seems like there's 4 episodes of this. Don't know anything about it, but it's in my collection nonetheless. Now we have an oddity. I kind of like to blend my slipcovers, even if they're not part of the Kino Studio Classics line, even if they're just Kino Classics. This one falls into that camp. We have Oscar Micheaux, the complete collection. Not sure how to say his name. Didn't know this man existed until I looked him up a little bit. He's actually from my home state of Iowa, a African-American director who made a lot of films back in the 30s, the 20s and 30s. So very interested, very happy that physical media is giving this director a new life 100 years after his films were already done filming. Very, very cool stuff. But let's go over the O's. That's the only O I have to add. Let's go to P's. P, Play Misty for Me. We're going to put one in between Play Misty for Me and the Peril and Distress double feature. With Play It Again Sam, we got Woody Allen, we got Diane Keaton. This is their first movie together. Have not seen a lot of Woody Allen movies. Have wanted to. The ones that I've seen, I have enjoyed. So I do need to give Play It Again Sam a shot for sure. Now we're going to go through the P's, go through the R's, go into the S's, stop, and add Andrea Tarakovsky's The Sacrifice. Excuse me. There's a nice little fuzzball on there as well. Get that off of here. Another 4K release in the Kino Classics line. Very, very cool to see. This one's going right in between Rules of Engagement and Nicolas Cage and Snake Eyes. Very weird double pairing there, or maybe triple pairing. We are gonna stay here. Snake Eyes. This seems like a better double pairing. Sea of Love, Al Pacino, Ellen Barkin, one of those sexual erotic thrillers, if you will. That and Snake Eyes seem a lot more intertwined, even if they're not 100%. It seems like a better double feature in my book. But now we are going to go to the end of the S's before the T's and put in a John Candy joint, y'all. We got Summer Rental. Have not seen this movie. Love me some John Candy though. So when the time arises, probably in the summertime, that is going to be watched by me. But we have 3 more movies to add to the non-slipcover section over here. The first one is going to be My Name is Alfred Hitchcock. And I am a sucker for a documentary. Love me some Alfred Hitchcock as well. You get him to talk about his films, more or less. A frisky, free-wielding, deeply informed salute. Very, very cool. I'm going to put this right here. The Cohen Media Groups will go before the Kino Lorber slipcover or non-slipcover madness. In the ends, we have the old school Nosferatu. I just did a giveaway of this a couple of days ago. Very happy that Kino Lorber was able to let me do that and host that. That's going next to Jungle Fever and Out of Sight. But last but not least, we have right here, I love me a good documentary. This one was nominated for Best Documentary at the Oscars. Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat. We have Louis Armstrong was kind of an informant in a war, the South Global Crisis, or the Global South Crisis. Obviously, I don't know too much about it, so I'm not even going to try to explain it. I did see the trailer, makes me want to watch it. A mind-blowingly rich tapestry intertwines jazz history and the taste of a spy thriller. Sounds right up my alley here. Going right next to Pray for Rock and Roll and Trilogy of Terror. So if you saw the stack and you noticed a couple Kino Lorber's didn't make the trip, you'll be like, hey, you didn't put all your Kino Lorber's away. That's because I have a holiday collection section over here, and I have 3 movies to add to this set. First up, we have Reindeer Games in glorious 4K. I love having new movies to add to my December watch list. I have never seen Reindeer Games. Very excited to finally do so, but I'm going to wait my turn. I want to say this is entirely full. Oh God, oh God. Okay, I'm going to have to do a little bit of a switcher-upper moving. I think Violent Night is going to have to go up here. Trading Places is going to have to go up here as well. That gives me another couple inches of wiggle room to move these over. There we go. Reindeer Games is going right next to another amazing boutique release with the AGFA edition of Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Love this disc with a passion. But then we also have some Uncle Buck to add into the mix, which is going to go up here. I guess I could put it at the very end here. TU. I've never seen Uncle Buck either. I know. I'm going to. I have it in 4K now. I've heard it's a Christmas movie, so I'm going to wait until Christmas time. But I have one more movie to throw into the mix, and that movie is Hawkeye. I guess it's a TV show, all Christmas-fied out. I enjoyed my watching of Hawkeye the first time around. Now I have it in 4K. I'll watch it at some point again. It's a good 3-hour watch here. Love to see kind of a short TV series to kind of just marathon through. I'm actually going to take Uncle Buck out. I know what I just said, but let's go over here. Hawkeye H. Oh, right before Home Alone. That's how it works. HAW is going right next to Harold and Kumar Christmas. Love to see it. Hawkeye's going in, sliding in like so. And now up top here, Emmett Otter needs to go over here. Miracle on 34th Street is not in the right place. I will fix that later. We got Uncle Buck with the U, and then we have Trading Places, or we have Violent Night, and before that, we have Trading Places. This is like more or less in alphabetical order. Get out of there, Miracle on 34th Street. There we go. I might put Turbulence up here, but yeah, my Christmas section is also getting very, very full very, very quickly. I like to have both the DVDs and the Blu-rays and 4Ks all mixed in one. Whenever you're in the mood to watch a holiday classic, just pull it off the shelf and boom, you're good to go. All right, now we're back over here to the boutique wall, and I've got a couple of media books here from Turbine Media. I'm gonna keep them displayed like this for as long as possible, but I've got 2 new additions to add to my Turbine set. I've got Chucky Season 1 and 2. Now I have the final season of Chucky to make that series complete. That's going to go right here. There's not a lot of wiggle room left in here, but I'm going to push these to the side as much as possible so I can add the 4K release of Infinity Pool in glorious media book form to the collection. Can you see? Yeah, look at that gloss pop on the bloody hand with the blood dropping down. Looks mighty, mighty nice. These look mighty good on the shelf as well. When I do get enough of these, I'll probably turn the leather faces first, just so that packs in. But for right now, I think that looks pretty dang nice. All right, I'm sticking with my boutique wall over here, but I'm gonna run into a predicament. I already know it. Vinegar Syndrome is a label that I like to collect for in all of their OCN Direct partner labels as well. The shelf is already looking pretty full, and I might have a few more titles to add to the collection. I don't know where I'm going to go just yet, but let's figure some stuff out on the fly, huh? All right, after scoping out everything, I think I have made my final decision. Some of these OCN Direct labels are no longer underneath the OCN Direct banner. I made a little bit of free space right here, moved the leather faces like I already said I would a little bit earlier than expected, but one of the labels that is no longer part of OCN Direct is TerrorVision. I'm gonna grab all of these TV titles, boom, put them right up here like so, because I feel like TerrorVision and Scream Factory in the same ballpark, especially with all the horror stuff I have over here with the Turbine Media books. I think that makes sense. And also the first movie that I have to put away in this stack is going to be Rumpelstiltskin Baby. And this did not come out from Vinegar Syndrome. It still has the same TV title or the logo that is on the spines of all of these. Love to see that. So let's see here, Rumpelstiltskin. Of course, it couldn't be right next to the other Video Violence big box, but that's okay. I'm going to leave these right here as is. I might flip some things around, but right now I'm happy with this decision. Even though I have a lot more movies to put away, I have a gap now, so that should be able to fill itself out nicely. Let's find out, I guess. Super Mario. All right, so first off, I scooted some of these along just so I can put away the OCN titles first and see what space I have left. First movie I have to put away today is from Dark Star Pictures, King on Screen. This is my first Dark Star Pictures title physically in the collection. I watched this streaming on Shudder, enjoyed it so much that when this edition got on sale, still had a couple hundred slipcovers left. I grabbed it because I really enjoyed this documentary quite a bit. King on Screen in Dark Star Pictures is going right next to Culture Shock and Devil Rider and Awaken from Dust Pictures right there. Continuing to go down the line, I now have a DeGosser video in the collection. This technically isn't OCN. This is part of Vinegar Syndrome. I don't know where to put it because there's no Vinegar Syndrome labeling on here. It's just DeGosser video. And I like having things in alphabetical order. So I'm throwing this in with the OCN Direct, even though I don't think it would technically be an OCN Direct. And if I put a DeGosser video in here, it would mess up all the nice looking Vinegar Syndrome spines right here. Throwing a little bit for a loop with DeGosser video, but for right now, I am putting it right next to Awaken as well. Try not to get the flick pick enamel pin off. There we go, Redneck Zombies is in there. And now we have a whole bunch of Fun City editions. So I am going to slide over Shudder stuff, slide over a lot of these because Fun City editions is going next to Factory 25. That's how the alphabet works. And here are the movies that I added. I don't have any Fun City editions, as you see, and they are technically no longer part of OCN either. But for right now, this is the space I have. So this is where I'm going to go for right now. First off, we have Heartbreakers. A lot of these were on sale for like $10 in the last sale. Let's see here. We have... There, I got them all. Sorry about that. I think I have 5 more movies to put away from Fun City Editions. Next up, we have the Coca-Cola Kid. I've heard very interesting things about this one. So actually, Coca-Cola Kid is going before Heartbreakers. There we go. I didn't put any of these in alphabetical order, so that's fun. Next one up, we have Born to Win. I think this is Robert De Niro's very first film. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty positive. And again, all of these were $10 or less. So even if I wasn't 1,000% like knowledgeable of the films, I still grabbed them because you can't beat $10. And then the last one I have, this actually did not come out from their OCN days. This came out on their own when they branched out on their own for Fun City Editions. But here is a double feature of Handgun and Deep in the Heart. I don't want this to be poking out, so I am going to put Handgun right next to Heartbreakers. And those are the Fun City Editions I'm adding to the collection. But I have a couple more titles that are going in the OCN section. First one up from Utopia Pictures, we have Therapy Dogs. Very, very interesting indie film here. Utopia is going to go over here, so I'm going to slide a few of these over. I've got a good selection of Utopia. Therapy Dogs is going to go at the end here, though. Actually, I'm going to keep the slipcovers and the non-slipcover titles kind of at bay. Therapy Dogs is going to go sliding in here next to Memories Like This Never, or Moments Like This Never Last, and Shiva Baby. But then I also have one more Utopia Pictures title, and that is Squaring the Circle, the story of Hypnosis. It's a marketing group, a duo of sorts, who made some of the best album artworks ever made. We're talking Dark Side of the Moon, we're talking some Led Zeppelin, we're talking a lot of great classic album arts. Very good documentary as well. And that one's going right next to Therapy Dogs. But there is everything that I have in the OCN label. I'm going to move some things around, try to fit some more Vinegar Syndromes in here. Let's see how it goes. All right, so far, here's what I've done. I moved some of my overflow titles to this side just for now. I moved ticks up so I can have a little bit more wiggle room to work with here. I still don't know if this is going to be enough, but we shall see. I'm going to move here because I want to say this is where I'm going to be putting in the lone solo title for Vinegar Syndrome, Hitcher in the Dark. This just seems like a slasher. I can't show you the back because there is some boobage on the back. Got to keep that the way it currently is, but now I'm going to slide as much over as I possibly can. This Flesh for Frankenstein, I don't think is going to fit. Flesh for Frankenstein, that won't fit up there either. That's just going to be a pain in the butt right now, if I'm being honest, because that's not going to fit up here. Okay, let's just see how it goes. Okay, so first off, I have a line of VCU movie or VSU movies right here. I have one more to add to that collection, I believe, and that title is the Prophecy Collection 1 through 3. I don't think it's technically a VSU, but it's going to be the same size as the VSUs. So I'm putting those right here. I'm going to slide these over. I'm going to put ticks over here. I'm going to put Ebola Syndrome and the 11th Commandment over here. So there's a little bit more room. This box is going to really jerk me around here. I might have to get some things out of alphabetical order. Flesh Eaters is going to go over here. Frankenstein is going to be crammed here, possibly, maybe. Yeah, I thought I had enough room. Flesh Eaters, that also had some boobage. Sorry about that. That's getting moved over. And now we have 3 new titles to put away in the Cinematograph line. If this will work, I'm going to move these over just a tiny bit because there is room. We have 3 Cinematographs to go over, and these are big honkin' suckers as well. I'm going to go through these alphabetically. First one we have is Dangerous Game right here. I'm going to put this next to Prophecy because they're all big box editions, and I just want them to be grouped together. The next one I have is Going South, the only one that I've opened up. It's intriguing packaging. I don't know if I need a lot more of these in my collection personally, but they are different, and I do like different when it comes to physical media. I've got one more to put in here. That is Touch. Will it fit? That is the question. Without things falling over. It did. Mission accomplished. Can push these in a little bit, but Jesus, like... I am gonna need more shelving just to put my Vinegar Syndrome stuff because we are more or less at max capacity. Oh my God, this brings me a lot of anxiety, but I'm also very happy, but I also have another order of this stuff coming in. So I'm gonna have to find a solution for this sooner rather than later. Oh boy, Vinegar Syndrome, you crazy. All right, now I have a few titles in my P through Z section that I'm going to put away. It might not look like I have room to grow, but I do on the edges here. They can kind of expand a good chunk out. Let's start out with The Substance, a movie that I actually saw in theaters. I loved 2/3 of it. I hated the last 30 minutes. It felt more like a Tim and Eric sketch to me than something that fit really thematically with the first 2/3 of this movie. I'm really intrigued to rewatch it again, though. That's why I bought it on 4K. The Substance is gonna go Sucker? Yeah, Sucker. And then Studio, it's gonna go right next, or in between Studio 54 and Sucker Punch, which oddly seems like all of these match up to have like a day of very thematically samey movies, surprisingly enough. Very, very strange there. Next up, we have a steelbook for You're Next from Lionsgate Limited. Love this steelbook with a passion. I already own this movie on Blu-ray steelbook because they came out with this last year with the Bloody Disgusting combo that Walmart and Lionsgate had. I'm not getting rid of that steelbook because I do enjoy that steelbook as well. So this You're Next is going next to You're Next and Youth and Revolt, a Michael Cera movie that does not get talked about, where he plays like a good version and evil version of himself. And I remember finding that very, very entertaining. But again, it has been a while since I've talked about it or watched it. Next up, another Lionsgate Limited, we have The Third Man. I have not seen this movie. I have it in the collection now. It's a classic. I need to just go ahead and finally watch this thing. It will be done for sure. Third Man, THIRD are. It's going to be right here in between my favorite movie of all time, John Carpenter's The Thing, and a sequel to Knocked Up. This is 40. I remember thinking this movie was okay. I'm almost 40. I'm not almost, I'm like halfway to 40, but closer to 40 than what I was when I watched this the first time when it originally came out. Maybe when I'm 40, I will pop this sucker back in and see if I relate to that movie more than I did the first time I watched it. Next movie we have to put away here. Let's go with Smile 2, baby. The first Smile I just was okay with. I wasn't in love with, but when I watched Smile 2, I adored this movie with a passion. I thought from start to finish, very, very strong. I have the first one on 4K because of that Paramount Presents line. I have no intentions of ever rewatching the first Smile. Maybe I will when Smile 3 comes out. Don't get in the way, Terminator. I'm trying to make a room for Smile 2, okay? There we go. Wiggle it a little bit. Put Smile 2 right next to Smile 1. And there we go. We got that one right next to the original, and Smokey and the Bandit. And the last movie I'll put away over here is going to be an upgrade for me, which is very, very good. We have Rango in 4K. Love this steelbook with a passion. Paramount is putting some great love into the slipcover game, which I do like to see. Still not on Lionsgate's level, but getting pretty dang close. I have a Blu-ray of this already, so we're gonna do a little Yankee swap. No longer need this. Give it a nice... Good one. Nice little kick. And put the 4K in its place. Again, I'm running out of room, so any type of upgrade I can do, and I don't need to have the standard release, I'm not going to have it. This is going right next to Ran, a very classic movie, and Ratatouille, a classic animated movie. Right in the middle there. Yeah, I think that matches. I think that looks good. Oh, also, just in case you did not see, all of these movies are movies that I've talked about on new release roundups that were on that stack that were ready to put away. You might have seen this stack over here as well. These are movies that are going to be in the next new release roundup. And yeah, that is a lot of movies already. I need to film that very, very soon. Hopefully you see that sometime next week because this stack can't get too much bigger. But let's take some big boxes, go into this room, see my glorious ring light right here, and start putting some big boxes away. First up, I have another edition from Deaf Crocodile. Here is The Cathedral of New Emotions. This is an animated film from a different country, so this would work in my 50 foreign films. I also think that this isn't a very long title either, or a long movie. I can't remember where. When I looked at it, 60 minutes, there we go, from 2006. I will probably watch that just to kind of get more foreign films. I love animation too, so any type of animation that I can find, I'm going to get my hands on and I'm going to watch. This is going right next to another animated foreign film, Feel a Day. But now we're going to go from the bottom to the top. Via Vision Entertainment. I have two new beefy box sets to add to this collection as well. First up, we have the classic Field of Dreams. I live in Iowa. This is like one of 10 films ever to be filmed in Iowa. Probably the most iconic movie ever to be filmed in the state. Field of Dreams is going to go right next to Firestarter, right? Yeah, let's push these up a little bit. Come on, give me a little wiggle room. There we go. Firestarter collection, Field of Dreams. Weird duo. I'm breaking up the horror, going right next to season 1 of Day of the Dead. Come on, get in there. Dang, J-Card's getting in the way, putting things away one-handed. Yeah, Day of the Dead season 1. Did you know that there was a show of Day of the Dead? I did not until that release came out. And then next, we have To Kill a Mockingbird. So let's move all of these over. It's going to go right here. There we go. See, we got a lot of space to work with here. Yes. To Kill a Mockingbird in glorious 4K. Gregory Peck, classic movie for a reason. Saw this in school. One of the main movies I saw in school that I still love to this day. But right now, To Kill a Mockingbird is going all the way up here next to the Substitute Collection and the special edition of Wolf Creek. All right, now it's time to put a couple of steel books away. Both start with the letter T. First up, Transformers 1. I just watched this the other night with the fam.
Fam wasn't really feeling it. My youngest was. I thought it was okay. I've never been the biggest Transformers fan of the franchise or toys or anything really growing up. So there's a lot of lore that if you do like Transformers, you will probably be loving this movie. I give it a 3.5 out of 5. It's not terrible. The last half hour is amazing, but this is going in my Transformers-ish stack. I've got Rise of the Beasts right here. I've got a random 4 steelbook right here, but then I have like the Transformers 1 through 6 steelbook set up there. So my Transformers are all over the place. But next one up I have to put away is Twister. Yes, the OG Twister and the OG poster artwork made by Turbine Media. So happy to have this steelbook in the collection as opposed to the other really crappy, terrible steelbook that we got in the States. I love the release of this one. And push over Twisters, and in between Turning Red, there we go. Love Turning Red with a passion. Not enough people talk about this movie. Twister, I live in Iowa still. It's like one of 10 movies ever filmed in Iowa. And Twisters was fine, forgettable, fine. It was what it was. Chase the beast. Stupid. If you feel it, chase it. Wasn't that the tagline of Twisters? I could be totally wrong. But let's grab another movie from the stack here. We have September 5. Let's see if I can switch this camera around. All right, there we go. September 5 right here. I really enjoyed this movie. My first job right out of college was working for a TV news station behind the camera and everything. Had a blast doing that. This brought back a lot of those memories. Unfortunately, it's my least favorite physical media release of the year because there is absolutely no special features on here. The transfer is fine, but it looks like it's of the 70s, and the slipcover is what it is. I like the movie, just wish it got a better physical media release. So right now, September 5 is going right next to the gorgeous slipcover of The Secret Life of Walter Mitty and the Steelbook of Serenity. Next up, we are back on the boutique wall, and I have one Scream Factory title to put away, and that is Dreamscape. I found it with the slip in the wild. The slipcover is now sold out. That's the main thing that made me want to pick this release up. Is that bad? Is that good? I'm not sure. It is what it is, that's for dang sure. But Dreamscape is going right next to Drag Me to Hell. Love that artwork. And The Editor. Absolutely love this artwork as well. Still at the boutique wall, Scream Factory is up high, and the next one we're putting away is at the very bottom. I have a whole smattering of different boutique labels on the bottom here. We have a couple of MVD Rewind collection movies to add to my collection. First up is Cheerleaders Wild Weekend. I'll grab you by the pom-poms. Excuse me? I guess in the 80s, it was fair game. Now you have to ask for consent. Okay, Cheerleaders Wild Weekend. This one is going right next to 1982 Greatest Geek Year Ever, a great documentary if you've not seen it, and Cutting Class, a movie that I still need to see, a slasher with a little baby Brad Pitt. But the other movie that I have to add in here is Men of War, starring Dolph Lundgren. Warriors paid to fight, not to think, but that's about to change. Okay, yes, men can think too, ladies. All right, Men at War is going, oh god, something fell, is going right next to Mean Guns and Monday Morning. Oh, this fell over and Problem Child fell over because again, space is turning into an issue. Problem Child is kind of separating the Mill Creek from the MVD. I love me some Problem Child. And while I'm down here, I might as well go to the end here and go to my 88 films collection. I have a couple of movies to put away here, but I'm not sure if I can showcase off the covers without covering things up first. So we're gonna go right here, I think, and this is the one that I'm talking about, Love and Crime. There's a lot of titillation everywhere here, so I am just gonna play it safe and not showcase off this case. Love and Crime is going right next to Long Arm of the Law Parts 1 and 2 and Magic Cop. But we got another L to add to the collection as well. We have The Lady Assassin. I love how shiny this slipcover is. Lady Assassin is going right next to the Kung Fu Instructors. There we go, that's better. Kung Fu Instructors and Legendary Weapon of China. All right, the next movie that we have to put away is one that I've already done a movie review for on YouTube, which is Panic Room. I thought that the transfer was pretty dang solid. The rewatch of this movie was also a load of fun. My first time viewing it, I gave it 3 out of 5. It jumped all the way up to 4.5 out of 5 the second time around. just because it is a fun thriller of a movie, a fun heist film to boot. It's just a solid, quick watch, and I am looking for a lot of those these days. Panic Room is going right next to Pandorum, another hidden gem of a film here, and Paper Towns, a movie that I've owned for over a decade, I think, and haven't watched yet. So I've got a little bit of a dilemma. I am putting away Kickboxer right here. This is not the dilemma. I absolutely love the lenticular that is on this edition. One of the best lenticulars I have in my collection, just because of how animated it is. My dilemma is I have the Blu-ray Steelbook as well for Kickboxer that I literally don't think I need besides the artwork on the Steelbook. What would you do in my scenario? If you already have the 4K, would you need the Blu-ray in your collection? I kind of want to keep it, but there's really no reason for me to keep it. I still haven't seen the movie yet either, so I know I need to watch it sooner rather than later. But Kickboxer's going next to The King of Staten Island, a very good Judd Apatow film, and then the Kick-Ass collection that I have over here. Now going up to the very top row, this is where things get pretty dang tight in here, but I have Alien Romulus to add to the collection. I already kind of made space for it because I needed both hands, and I'm recording with one of my other hands. The Steelbook looks absolutely gorgeous, and I know that they're making a sequel to Alien Romulus. The first time around when I saw this in theaters, I was not a fan of this movie at all, but I am a little anxious to rewatch it. I love Fede Alvarez. I know how much of like a theme park ride experience this movie is going to be the second time around. I'm hoping that I like it more than I did the first, but we'll see. It's going next to Aliens, Alien Covenant, Alien AVP double feature, and then all my other Alien movies are up there in that quadrilogy box, anthology box, whatever it is. So we are now over here back again to my DVD dungeon where I have all of my TV shows over here. There's not a lot of room to be had, but there's a nice little cove right here. I've decided to put my Star Wars TV show Steelbooks over here in this section because I don't know when I'm going to get to them, and they look gorgeous. Here is Obi-Wan Kenobi going in here. I need to rewatch Andor before season 2, so I will be back to this stack sooner rather than later. It's just nice to kind of get more room in the actual collection when I know I'm not going to make time to watch Ahsoka the complete first season, you know what I'm saying? And I don't even have Mandalorian season 1 and 2, but I do season 3, even though it's the weakest season of all of them. Still happy to have the Steelbook. I love the artwork that Tilla Sarsgaard is putting on all of these steels. I'm trying to be realistic. Andor is going to go to the top of the stack because I know I'm watching that very, very soon because season 2 comes out very, very soon. And that's the only Star Wars show that I even like at this point. But it's still kind of nice to have completionist-wise for Star Wars, even though I still need Mandalorian 1 and 2. I don't know. This is where I'm putting them. But I am going to be kind of a stickler here. While I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, I still love me some Marvel. Here's MCU show for Loki season 2. I have Loki season 1 down here. I'm going to keep MCU TV in the collection for now. That could change. God, those spines look really good together for Loki season 1 and 2. I need to rewatch season 2 again. It hasn't been a long time. I just need a refresher on it because I want to say what happens at the end of Loki is going to be very important when it comes to Secret Wars and Doomsday and all that jazz. As you can see, we are back to the magical P through Z wall because this is where I can fit the most amount of stuff without having to move a lot of things. And I have a stack of 5-6 Steelbooks. Let's start off with Wicked. I have the 4K Steelbook for Wicked. I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. Right now, I think it's at my 3rd favorite physical media release of the year so far. That is because there is a lot of great behind the scenes. The movie looks and sounds phenomenal. And right now in the collection, it is going, get in there, right next to Who Framed Roger Rabbit, an absolute banger, and The Wicker Man, another absolute banger. Look at that trifecta, people. Absolutely love it. Next up, we have an S title, a movie that I still need to watch for the first time, and that, my friends, is Snowpiercer. Don't know if I'm going to like this movie, but it's Bong Joon-ho, and every movie I've seen directed by him, I have enjoyed. Snowpiercer, I'm assuming goes before Snow White, because that's how the alphabet works. Boom, Snowpiercer. Like I said, Going next to Snow White and Snatch, a Guy Ritchie joint. We were just talking about Guy Ritchie. Next steelbook I have is going next to here. Hi, Jack. It's the 4K steelbook of The Shining. I wasn't the biggest fan of this steelbook design. Very lazy, but I don't have this movie on 4K, so beggars cannot be choosers. I might have to move Jack for a second. I'll find a place for you soon, I promise. But The Shining is going next to The Shining. And shooter, Mark Wahlberg is a shooter. 2 more steelbooks left. We have Venom, The Last Dance. Haven't seen this movie yet. Haven't really liked this franchise too much at all. Sony was nice enough to send the steelbook my way. And one thing that I have to say is that the steelbooks for Venom, dear God, do they slap hard. The first Venom I thought was just fine. I was really looking forward to seeing what a sequel would do for the character. And then Let Them Be Carnage came out. And I'm like, oh. There's nothing that you can do to Venom and Eddie to make them really enjoyable to watch. Does The Last Dance change that? I'm not sure. Will I ever watch this? I'm not sure, but I am happy to have the whole trilogy here on steelbook. I'm gonna have to move this a little bit to give the space a little bit of wiggle room so no steelbooks get damaged because of the stress weight here. There we go. All the Venoms. And last but not least, we have a W title here. So we're going back down and we're going to have to go to the bottom shelf here. We have Willow, everybody. Look at Willow. I've still never seen Willow. Willow is going to go next to Willy's Wonderland and Wild Robot. Let me know what Willow thoughts you have in the comments. I know that it's a Lucasfilm joint. I know it was made in the 80s. I know it stars Warwick Davis, and I know that there was a show on Disney Plus that got canceled and deleted from Disney Plus after like a couple of months. So is the movie worth checking out? I'm pretty sure I'm going to check it out at some point. Sticking on the steelbook train, we have an upgrade, folks. We do. Upgrade alert. Evil Dead Rise. I've wanted this in the collection for the longest time. They've had 3 different versions of this movie on steelbook. I just had the random 4K that doesn't have like any extras on it or anything. So you know what we're doing with this? We're giving it that was a terrible kick, but a kick nonetheless. Right here, Evil Dead Rise is going in the collection where it belongs, and now I have every single movie in the franchise on steelbook, just like God intended. Yes, that feels so nice. So here is the boutique wall. There is the Arrow Video and Umbrella shelf. And all the way over here, we have my kids' VHS section. And for some reason, I have decided to put a whole big stack of overflow titles, movies that I don't think deserve to be in the actual collection itself, but I don't want to get rid of. And I've got a whole stack of other movies that kind of fit that bill. And these first 5 are ones that I just don't know where to put them yet. I don't think they deserve to be on this stack. But we got 5 Anchor Bay releases. Dinner with Leatherface is the only one out of these 5 that I've actually seen. But I thought the documentary was pretty dang good. I'm getting nervous about how tall these stacks are. So I might just do this for now, possibly, maybe. Like I said, I got a lot more movies. First up, One from the Heart, Francis Ford Coppola directed 4K movie I've never heard of, never seen, obviously. Yeah, I'm a completionist. I will watch this one day, but I don't know when that day will be. I should get rid of that Constantine because I do have the 4K Steelbook now. I will do that. Here is Blue Sky Epic. I found this at a Goodwill and I couldn't pass it up because of the unique packaging, but also don't know when I'm going to watch it either. Next one we have here, Toxic Crusaders, the series. This looks like a cartoon I would have loved as a child in my mid-30s. I just don't know when I'm going to watch it. Next one up, we have The A-Team, a movie that I remember thinking was okay, but nothing too special. You know what? I'm already regretting everything because this whole thing is dropping. I need 2 hands, excuse me, but I caught everything. All right, the pickle of a situation I made for myself. Crisis was averted on my end. We have 6 more titles to go. Let's do these very quickly. First up, Cop Killers, MVD Classic. MVD sent this my way. Movie looks interesting. Just don't know when I'm going to get to it. This is one that I've already watched, and I don't know when I'm going to rewatch it. A real pain. It's a very solid movie. Kieran Culkin, congratulations on winning your Oscar for this. You played yourself and won a lot of trophies for it, so good for you, I guess. Next up, we have Juror Number 2. I've heard very good things about this movie. Have not watched it yet. I know. I need to watch it. I just don't know when I'm going to go get around to it. I could say the same thing about Here, except I haven't heard a lot of good things about this movie at all. I've heard a lot of very mediocre to bad things. And one thing about Robert Zemeckis, he's very heavy on CGI, and his CGI can look so bad and wrong and off, and Here just makes me think that that's going to be a whole movie of that. Next up, we have the classic Color Purple. I have not seen this movie, but again, it just needs to be on a list somewhere of movies that I will get to at some point. Steven Spielberg film, a Steven Spielberg movie I have not seen yet. I'll change that. And the last movie, Amadeus. Whoa. I do not know when I'm going to watch this movie, so it's going on the stack. And here is the stack of movies. How many movies do you think are on that stack? 150, maybe somewhere around there. I need to find a better system of like putting these in the collection somewhere. I just don't know where I'm going to do that yet. Like I said, more shelves to come. This is gonna go away sooner rather than later. I just love it. Every time I look at this shelf, it makes me super happy, and I don't want to get rid of it, but I know its days are numbered and it makes me sad, but you know what? It's gotta happen. The next movie that I have to put away is going in the B section. A and B, the first two shelves here are the ones that are the most congested, and if I want to fix anything on these, I have to go and work my way down. I have a hole right here, and I'm very happy to add Blade into that hole. I enjoy this movie very, very much. Cannot wait to give it a rewatch, a first-time watch on 4K for me. But for right now, if I can slide this in, there we go. Blade Runner is going right next to The Blackening, Black Coat's Daughter, Black Widow, Black Swan, Black Phone, Black Panther, Black Hawk Down, Black Adam, Black Dahlia, and also Blade Runner 2049. I like the way that looks. I really like that Black Coat's Daughter spine. That pops like crazy. So we just talked about it in the big stack that I have in the other bedroom. We have Constantine in 4K. I had the Blu-ray over on the big stack. I now have the 4K, can get rid of that Blu-ray. I love the debossing on the Steelbook so much. Cannot wait to check this out. I've heard nothing but great things about the transfer. My buddy Brian from Last Movie Standing, I love his breakdowns that he does, showing off the 4K versus Blu-ray. I like to come to decisions by myself, just looking at the videos that he puts out. Absolutely love it. And dang, that dark red spine on there looks so nice. Constantine is going next to Contact, which is next to Contagion. Yeah, nice little trifecta of films there. Oh, Warner Brothers too, look at that. We are making another trip over to the top shelf, and I have a Lionsgate Limited Steelbook to put in the collection. Apocalypse Now, Final Cut. This sucker is jam-packed with just about anything you could ever want from Apocalypse Now. You have Apocalypse Now Redux, and Hearts of Darkness. Still need to watch that documentary. Have been wanting to forever. Now I can watch it whenever I want in the collection. It's going next to Any Given Sunday. And then we have Apocalypse Now Final Cut, which I absolutely do not need, but I'm absolutely never going to get rid of because that is such a stunner of a steelbook. I might get rid of this Apocalypse Now and Apocalypse Now Redux steelbook because while the classic poster artwork is there, it's kind of like peeling at the side. God, that's nice though. I might not get rid of it just because of that. I love original poster artwork with a passion. Who am I kidding? I'm going to keep all three. Now we are going over back to the P through Z shelf, and right here in the R's, we have Reservoir Dogs, the repressing from Lionsgate Limited, going from one Lionsgate Limited to another, the Mr. Pink edition of Reservoir Dogs. This is going right next to the Rescuers 2 film pack, and this blank one right here, it's got an ear on there. That's because over here on my steelbook wall, I have a lot of Quentin Tarantino steelbooks. I now have enough to fill a wall, and as you can see, I don't even need the other repressing of Reservoir Dogs, but that steelbook looks so nice. And this wall, oh my goodness, it's been up for a couple of months and I'm still in love every time I see it. Going back up to the C's, I have another movie that I found at my local hobby store, Colossal. Oh my God, lenticular wise, one of the best in the game. I'm not a big fan of lenticulars that just add dimension pops. Give me a good transitional pop as well. Love that with a passion. The main reason why I bought it when I found it out in the wild. I also like this movie quite a bit. It's a very solid watch, and I need to rewatch it again because it's been a very long time. But Colossal is going right next. I think I put this in there right. Going right next to Color Out of Space. Yeah, I did. And Combat Shag. Combat Shag. Combat Shag. Speaking of JCD and Hobby, I found this pin there. It's not an enamel pin. It's a promotional pin back from 2003. Love it so much. Going down to the L's here, we have a lot of Lord titles. I am Lord. Lord. Here is the Lord of the Rings, The War for the Rohirrim. That is a mouthful, especially when I'm not the biggest keeper-upper of Lord of the Rings facts. That looks a little anime in the eyes of the redhead over there, does it not? I haven't heard anything about this movie, good or bad. I like the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I hate the Hobbit trilogy. Where will this land? I'm not sure, but right now, in my collection, it's landing next to the Lord of the Rings, the Return of the King, the third. And we have Lord of War, another great Lionsgate steelbook. You might be asking, or if you are asking, where are the rest of your Lord of the Rings steelbooks, Jake? They're all the way up here in my steelbook set collection up at the very top shelf. And oh my God, are they a work of art? All right, we are back to the boutique wall, and we are also back at the very bottom shelf of the boutique wall. Bottom shelf, bottom corner. We've got a couple of Visual Vengeance titles to add to the collection. Let's just slide those this way. First one up, Dinosaur Valley Girls with the Bum Bum. You got the TNA effect going on very, very loudly on this release. And the other one that we have is Furious. They're going back to back. Artwork on Visual Vengeance titles goes absolutely slamming hard. It's kind of crazy. I now have 6 in the collection. I also have a bunch of stickers from Visual Vengeance. There's one, I don't know what to do with these, so I just have them on top. Vampires and other stereotypes. And then we have a Mutta Video and The Abomination right there. There's some fun stickers, right? Now, since we're at the bottom, we got to go to the very bottom of the Arrow Video, of the Umbrella. We've got a whole bunch of different fun stuff. At the very, very bottom are all of my Criterion movies. I got a new one. Don't look now, but don't look now because I'm running out of room for where I wanted to put all of these. Not super out of room just yet. Like I said, that just kind of fit in there like a glove, but I got to be very cautious on what Criterions I'm going to add to the collection next go around. But now, going round and round and all the way to the very top, I have a nice Shudder selection right here. And a new movie to add to my Shudder collection is VHS Beyond. I liked this movie. I thought it was fine. It's a sci-fi version of the VHS franchise. Very fun to see. But right now, VHS Beyond is going at the very end, right next to the Twin, and then the whole lot of my Paramount Presents collection. All right, I've got a couple more titles, and then I'm going to call it a night, people. The first one I'm adding in, Kraven the Hunter. Yes, I did not throw this on the overflow shelf. I need to watch this first before I think I'm going to just get rid of this for good. I've heard nothing but terrible things about this movie. I've heard it's even worse than Morbius. I've heard it's even worse than Black Widow. Not Black Widow. What is that? The other crappy movie, Madam Web, the other spider crap movie. We'll see how this one goes. Sony sent this my way. I am going to watch it because I love me some Aaron Taylor Johnson. But Kraven is going right next. Kong shouldn't go. No, Kong should go there. It's going right next to the great Steelbook of Kong Skull Island and Kubo and the Two Strings, and the last movie that I have to put away today before I tap out, The Last Witch Hunter, again from Lionsgate. This one was an Amazon exclusive, and believe it or not, I already have a Steelbook of The Last Witch Hunter all the way over here. Let's see if I can get it right here. And it's still sealed, folks. Blu-ray, DVD. Last Witch Hunter. I like this artwork as well, but there is no damn way I need 2 copies of The Last Witch Hunter in my collection. I'm not kicking that one. Sorry, it's a steelbook. Don't want to get it dented. But now The Last Witch Hunter is going in its place right next to The Last Voyage of the Tamita and Late Night with the Devil. All right, everybody, we did it. We pretty much made it there. I'm gonna have to do a lot more moving on this shelf. I'll show you what I mean. There's only a few titles that we didn't put away today. Go us. And it's right here, just this little stack. These 3 steel books are on my Tarantino wall, they're just slipcovers, so I'm gonna keep those right there. We only have 5 movies left, but they're all A through D titles, and I'm gonna have to do a lot of moving just to fit those 5 movies there, and I didn't feel like doing it right now. We put away a ton of movies. Mission accomplished. That's great. This also never ends. It's a never-ending circle, just a snake eating its own tail. All of these movies are going to be in the next new release roundup. This thing is gonna get very full once again. Fun times being a collector. Glad I have all of these. Just got to find space for them in the collection. Absolutely love it. Wouldn't change it. Wouldn't have it any other way. Thanks for watching this video. I always like putting stuff away alphabetically, trying to be as organized as possible. I'm glad you like watching it too. Thanks again for watching. And until next time, I'll see ya.